Okay, Paul. How did you get to the hair design? Tell us your story.
By mistake, purely by mistake.
Okay.
Finished my education, and I was living on the beach at the time, and I decided I was windsurfing, went into a pub one day, and there were some people in there, and they said, "Are you looking for a job?" And I said, "For a couple of weeks," and it was a salon, and so I went to the salon, and weeks went into months, went into years, and that's how I did it, purely by mistake.
Okay, it was in England?
In England, yeah, in Britain.
Yeah, fine. And how long does it take to be so good as you know?
Years and years. When I started went to college, then I did my advanced hairdressing. Then I obviously did lots of shows and seminars in London. Went to New Zealand after that for 7 years as an art director. So I learned more shows and more seminars, learned off everyone I could. Then after that I went back to London. I was a regional manager and art director. Won a few competitions, a few major competitions there. Then after that, I went to, where did I go after that? I went to France as a water sports instructor for a while, had a little break. Then I went back to England. So was my melting pot of knowledge, England.
Okay.
Then I went to to Sweden as an art director for a few years. Then I just went travelling again, Thailand, and then I went back to London, where I spent 7 years before I came here.
Okay.
Did lots of shows, competitions, L'Oreal Colour Trophy, all that sort of stuff. Lots of them.
Okay. Who is the famous person you were cutting?
The most famous.
Any celebrity?
Everyone. Everyone. I don't like to judge people as their celebrity status, but quite a lot. It depends on the time. So there, guys, it just changes as time goes on. Some racing, like Damon Hill racing stars, but don't put that in because I don't like that sort of thing. I just think everyone is equal. Everyone is famous in my mind.
Or everyone will become famous after you do the haircut.
Absolutely, everyone will become famous. I think everyone should be equal and look good. But I've done lots of them, yeah, many. Inspirationally, there was a blind girl I cut who was probably my biggest inspiration.
Who?
A blind girl. She was completely blind.
Okay.
But don't put this just between me and you. But she'd feel her hair and she'd feel the shape. And that gave me a lot of inspiration about actually touching the hair, feeling the hair, getting the idea for not just looking, but moving and movable hair. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay. What take you to Zlín?
To Zlín, a beautiful woman.
Beautiful
woman.
You mean your wife?
My wife. Well, my girlfriend. My girlfriend brought me here.
Girlfriend.
Yeah. And I think the stress of London as well is so many years you can have there. And to have time with my child, I came here, and she lives here, so... But I still have the connection with London, and which is good, but I have the time here. But that's it. I came here because of a woman.
Okay.
Nothing else.
So can you say you took like a piece of London here? Because the style is like a little bit different.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think the London style is my style, I think, very much so. I love the hairdressing, I love the international concept of everything in London, the cleanliness of the lines of everything. Yeah, I think I did bring a little bit of London here, actually, yeah.
I think you must be a little bit bored in Zlín. Because from London to Zlín, it's like downgrade.
I think my clients keep me happy. I think they really want things that are slightly, a little bit different, very glamorous, very beautiful. I think they want quality haircuts, and they've kept me on my toes because I still have to do the work that they know exists out there. Do you understand me? Yeah. So definitely, I'm not bored here. I would say with my haircutting. Definitely not. I'm challenged.
When you came to Czech Republic, you came directly to Zlín, or were you in Prague or somewhere?
I had a look around Prague for a while, but it was just, with the child, it was just too busy. Zlín seemed to be a pretty good option, a second sort of busiest town, or that's what they said to me anyway.
Okay.
And close to family here, I suppose. So Zlín was a good option. Yeah.
Okay. Was there any difference between the needs of customers here and in London? You know, the Czech hair wants different things than London girls.
The hairdressing here was obviously very... Zlín had its concept of hairdressing, of what the styles were and everything. So it was quite good for me to come in and do something a little bit fresher and something a bit different. So I think people like that concept of having something slightly different, not the same as every single person has with me. So they could have the new haircut now instead of in 5 years' time. With me.
Mm-hmm. Can you describe what sort of haircuts is in Zlín, or was in Zlín like the common?
Very common, kind of very short rounded fringes. Most people had a very short fringe, sort of cut up here, and very heavy through here, which was very nice. But I could then take that and change it and soften it and cut it into the face and do different things with the colours on it. Little things like ombre colours, which we just did on that shoot. That's been around for a while. Things like dipping the ends in colour. You know, instead of cutting it short on one side and longer on the other side, we tend to use colours more to give it that impression. Soft fringes, soft heavy fringes with different texture through. So you've got dual texture. I think people were just very open-minded to the British way of hairdressing, which is a lot cleaner. I think the number one factor is condition and beauty, to make people look beautiful, not crazy sort of colours everywhere and crazy haircuts. Keep it simple and beautiful.
And you think that this is the London style?
Very much so. Even if we cut quite avant-garde haircuts, it still has a glamour to it. It still has a beauty to it. It's not freakish. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
It has to look really pretty on the person. The person has to look beautiful. First it's the face, then it's the hair, basically. It shouldn't be the hair walking through the door followed by a face. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
It should be a unison of haircut to face shape. It can be crazy, but it's got to be crazy beautiful. Beautiful colours. And modern colours. Like today all the colours are soft, how do I say it? Soft hues of colour. So softer blondes, softer browns.
Yes.
Nothing crazy, not the bright reds or the bright pinks or the bright blues. It's all very, very soft colour. It can be bright blonde on top and copper down through here, but it would be a beautiful shade of copper and a beautiful shade of blonde with good conditioned hair. You know what I mean? And I think the most important thing in London is the education and the training. It's non-stop, every few months, non-stop training, non-stop education. And that's, I think, the most important thing that I bring to this salon, is the education and the modern haircuts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. What kind of services does your salon offer?
We're mainly a cutting and colouring salon. Just about everything we do is always cut and colour. Some extensions, but not a lot. I think people want realistic hair that they can do themselves at home. Highlights, ombre colours, dip colours, anything that's really modern at the moment. Foils, mainly foiling, everything is foils we do. And generally we'll add 2 or 3 colours into the hair, not just one. Great colour products, shine, condition.
So you told me about colouring of the hair. You've got some like your method. You cut a piece of hair and you try,
Yeah, always tend to test the colour beforehand, especially with ombre colours or people who've got dark hair. Always take a cutting, test it, 3 different colours, see what's good, and then go into the hair colour. If you go into it beforehand, it's going to be a disaster. It's going to turn out reddish yellow, or it's going to be a nightmare of a colour. So we always try and test the hair beforehand, every time.
Of course, so no bad surprise.
Absolutely, so you know what you're going to get before you have it done, basically. Cutting is very much the same thing. We have the haircut in our heads before we even think about going into the haircut with the colour. Precision haircutting, I think, is the secret. Keep the hair glamorous, good condition. Try not to cut too much of the hair out, because then it's a disaster to blow dry yourself and it doesn't look glamorous. We do a lot of glamour work. A lot of that more glamorous sort of can be either street glamour, can be elegant glamour, it can be rock chick glamour, but it all ends up with that beautiful finished look. Mm-hmm. You with me?
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah. Another question. What the Zlin girls want? Do they want something creative, or it's just like to come on?
No, I think they really
How
like...
many customers want to have something creative and give you the freedom, to make something with me?
I would say probably the freedom from the customers would probably be about 99%.
Yeah?
Everybody says, do what you want to do, which is great. So they get something fashionable, something modern, but not crazy, not stupid looking. It's always beautiful and it suits their face and their hair. But it is up to today's standard. It's not 5 years ago, or 3 years ago, or 2 years ago. So very much like the ombre colours, the dipping, the beautiful highlights.
Okay. If someone come to you with the picture and I want it this way, and you see it's not appropriate for her, what would you do?
Recommend to maybe change it slightly, but generally I think you can do most haircuts on most people. It's just getting the right shape on the face. So if they have something that's long and their face isn't the right shape for it, I'd put layers in it, or I'd add the colour more around the face, or do something that would be beautiful on them and more appropriate to their face shape than just long hair with dark colour in it. With me, okay. Make it a bit more exciting.
Okay. So how would you react if she insists, I want it this way, and this is gonna be the bloody disaster?
I'd say no.
You say no?
I'd say no.
Have you done it?
Once.
Once?
Yeah.
And what was the situation?
Oh, the hair looked great. She loved it, but I knew I could have done something so much better. So much better.
So you reject before hurting the customer?
I would not make them feel bad, but I would say that 100% of the time, after that one, everyone has agreed with my opinion on it. Afterwards, everybody. So if somebody's got really thick hair and they want to kind of bob into here, I wouldn't do it. There's no way I would do it, because the hair's going to be sitting out like a monkey or a mushroom, basically. So there's no way I'd do it. And I have to understand if they've got home products for home, if they've got straighteners, if they've got good with a brush. I have to go through all that, and then I make my decision on the haircut. So if they have the means to look after the haircut they want, then fine, I will cut it. If they don't, if it's a natural dry haircut, I have to cut the hair for that. So someone with thick hair has to be longer for a very natural dry.
Okay, so now we're talking about women. How about guys?
Guys, I have tons of them in here. Tons of them. Guys' haircuts are probably the coolest haircuts at the moment, I think. They have... anything is possible with a man if they have hair.
Again, any difference between Zlin and London?
No, because I think everyone here wants a London-y type haircut, because the magazines and the movies and everything... Music, it all kind of stems down from London and America, I suppose. But I'm more into the London haircuts. They're not so not so garish. Much softer, much more finished. You with me? Do you understand that?
So, as I see it, the difference between girls and boys is like disappearing, because I see guys like 15, 16, who has to spend like 30 minutes, to make his hair ready.
I would say men spend a lot more time sometimes on their hair than women do these days.
Yeah.
We do a service where we cut men every 2 weeks because they like their hair to look so precise and so good. They come in every 2 weeks and have their fringe recut or something recut or a little change somewhere, because fashion changes so quickly that they need to be able to change. But absolutely right. Men are the new women when it comes to hair, almost.
Mm-hmm. Apart from cutting and coloring, you do some things like I noticed, like longing the hair. How you do it? I don't know.
Hair extensions.
Yes.
Stick them in with a monkey can do them.
Okay.
The whole point with hair extensions is good quality hair, a good cut with the extension, and matching it to the person's hair. But basically, you just take V sections in the back of the head, and it's almost like gluing them in with hair keratin. Put some hair keratin on, put something hot on the end of it, seals around the hair, and there you have your extension. The difference between how we do it and a lot of people do it is we use really fine extensions. We cut them into very, very fine sections and do a multitude of colours with it as well. But it's not something that's overly popular anymore. It's very nice on a lot of them, some people, but I think the haircuts today and the product use, you don't need extensions as much as they did, say, 5 or 10 years ago. So extensions is still a good service, but it's not something that's enormously popular anymore.
Okay, how about the dreading?
No, I think in London I did quite a lot of dreads, but they were different. They were very fine, soft dreads, very fashionable dreads. People here now, I think people in Zlín I've seen with dreadlocks, they tend to do it themselves and they're big sort of, kind of, no, we don't do much dreadlocking here, no.
Okay. Anything else you do, apart from colouring, extensions?
I'd probably say mainly cutting and colouring is the main thing we do. I think it's the most important.
Your wife told me there were some expressions, amber, or something like that. Ombre. What is it?
Ombre colour is keeping the natural colour of the hair and then putting through the base some more natural hues. Like if you're a brown, you put in a lighter brown, then maybe a few blonde sections. Very difficult colour to do, very difficult, but very, very popular. Very popular.
Is it like trend today?
Yeah, it's been around actually for a little while now, for a couple of years. I've noticed a lot of rock star, a lot of famous people have it. So to me, it's quite commercial now, but in Zlín, it's quite new to a lot of people. The new colour is dipping, where you literally dip the ends and have something a little stronger in certain areas. But the ombre colour is probably the most feminine colour to have at the moment. It just breaks the hair up, gives it a natural look.
Is it for women only, or for guys?
Men can have it, but you need to have longer hair for it. Definitely.
Not for me.
Not for you, mate. I'm afraid not.
Okay.
But probably, yeah, the most fashionable thing is natural hues in the hair, nothing crazy, no crazy blues, pinks, reds, natural feminine colour, glamorous waves, not kind of tight barrel curls.
Okay, but what can we expect from the hair design like in 2 years?
In 2 years' time?
Where is it going to?
I think it has to be a natural progression of there's going to be a lot more haircuts in between the shoulders and the chin, a lot more haircuts in between their layers, a little bit more rounded. At the moment, nothing's rounded, but I think it's going to progress to that line. That's the commercial haircut. But besides that, anything goes. I think anything goes as long as the signatures with it can be short, medium, long. It can be anything as long as the person cuts it correctly, cuts it for the face and to look good for the time. Yeah, the future. I can say for this spring and summer, but it's very difficult to predict what's going to happen next year because each month it changes. But if you have short fringes, the next season will be long fringes. Are you with me? If you have long fringes, the next season will be shorter fringes or something to off-balance it. Because you have to cut the long piece to make it short. So it's very difficult to explain.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
If you look to the history, what was like the main breakdown, main development in hair design?
In hair design?
I mean like coloring or what?
Gosh, that's a very good question actually. Colouring, I think it's been huge because colouring doesn't wreck the hair anymore, it changes the shape of the hair. But I think education, the internet, knowledge of what everyone else is doing, so everybody can do the haircuts of today. With me? So I think that's the biggest breakthrough, the internet.
Okay, sharing experiences and styles.
Yeah. Knowledge.
Who is the greatest person in hair design these days? What studio, what salon? I really don't know.
It has to be. My favourite person is a guy called Guido.
Guido?
He does all the backstage fashion shows for like London Fashion Week, and he's excellent. But the most famous man is Anthony Muscolo, who owns TG. The education's brilliant, his haircuts are brilliant, just amazing. I take a lot of inspiration off him. And his sister, Sasha Muscolo Tabak. She got married.
Okay.
The biggest names in hairdressing that have ever been. Just amazing man. Great haircuts. Just 8 times Hall of Fame in Britain now. Everything he does is just beautiful. Very simple, it's exactly what I like. Everything he does, I love.
I'm very new to hair design. I was never interested before, so I'm quite excited that so many men is on the top of the hair design.
It seems to be men, I think, a lot. I think they don't go too crazy. They keep it beautiful, and if they do go crazy, it's still got a really nice line. You know what I mean? It's got a really nice colour, a really nice haircut. It's modern. I just think women are brilliant as well, don't get me wrong, but it seems to be that the men seem to be taking the time of cutting, where women are very good at blow drying because they did that when they were young. Men don't do that, so we have to force ourselves into the cutting, and so it's easy to blow dry. Good cut, easy to blow dry, simple.
Okay. So tell me something about the products you use and how are they special? I mean, like ecology or something.
I think the most important thing with the products is, again, the education behind them. TG is Anthony Muscolo's company, and his sister, Sasha Muscolo, has Label M. So both of them produce huge amounts of information on hair cutting, hair colouring, how to use the product with the type of hair. The education behind it is huge. So I believe go for the best product, the best education, you can't fail. You know what I mean? They are the top, they are the number ones in the world for formulating products, moving ahead, changing products all the time. A lot of them are sulfate free, so they don't have any bad things in them. They try and keep them green as they can, as green as possible. But again, education. You have people who can come in, educate you, teach you about what's going on, whereas a lot of other product companies just bang you the product and you don't have such good people doing your seminars for you. So you'd have Anthony Muscolo, you'd have Nick Irwin, Sasha, they're doing it, so you can phone them up and say, hi, can you tell me what the trends are this week? And they sit there and chat to you. With me, there's no, they're not out of reach to the hairdresser. And that helps me a lot, because I can pick the phone up, phone them up and have a chat, and it's great. Next season's work's already done. And we advise between each other. We still do the back and forward sort of, what do you think of this Paul, what do you think of that Anthony, what do you think of this Nick, and it's quite a good way to keep myself fresh.
Okay, so can you introduce us your other hair designers?
Hair designers, I have the lovely Lenka, who you've met. She's been here about a year now. Excellent, just lovely person, great. She learns in seconds. Very, very keen on.
Is she specialized or something?
She specialises.
Does I hear any specialization like she's good for this?
She specialises a lot in extensions.
Okay.
And she's now specialising in cutting as well. Excellent. She likes similar styles to what I like. She does a lot of V cutting. She doesn't destroy the hair with the haircut. She tries to keep the hair clean, very clean lines. Fantastic with people, brilliant with people. And then I have Andrea. She's very much colourist, very much a colourist. Highlights, colours. Again, she's starting to specialise more in the hair cutting as well now, which is great. And she's been with me for about a year as well. And then we have Kate, the lovely Kate, who is my PR manager type person, really. So,
So how long do you plan to stay here?
How long is a piece of string? No idea. No idea.
Can you imagine go back to London or Paris or New York?
I can imagine that. I think I'll live here, but I think I'll still go to London, do seminars, come back to Zlín. I'm in London once or twice a year doing work, so it's quite nice to be here. It's quite easy. You can always get on a plane and go get the information and come back again. So I might stay here a while, yeah. But definitely will always go back to London. Absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt.
Okay.
There you go. Is that enough?
And one last question. Really last question. Yeah.
No, you do.
Can you tell me what is your greatest success in hair cutting, hair design? If you can, just one thing.
I think every day I have great success by seeing someone come in with an average head of hair and they go out looking beautiful. I don't think I can ever take competitions I've won. No, I think every day I have, whenever I see someone come in, average, they go out looking amazing, that to me is my success point.
That's your success point?
Really. It keeps me going. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be doing this. But as far as competitions and that go, no, I don't really feel that that's my successful point. I feel my last haircut's my success. You with me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Crikey.